Hi, my name is Mac Ehrhardt, chairman of Albert Lee Seed House. I'm here with Jake Hansen, our product manager, and we're here to talk about Blue River organic seed corn. You can see a picture of us there, just in case you can't see us on your screen. I've got a few more, as my dad would say, I've got a few more Christmas puddings than Jake, but he has been with us. How long have you been with us now, Jake?
Uh, 15 years on the 23rd of August.
Wow, that's a good memory. So Jake is our corn and soybean product manager, and you can see us here standing in a field of soybeans. But today we are going to talk about corn. So in this section, we're going to talk about Blue River organic seed corn from 95 to 102 day. And we're breaking this up this year so that you can just tune into the maturity range of Blue River organic hybrids that you're interested in. And we're going to jump right in with the first one.
Right. Thank you, Mac. As you mentioned, my name is Jake Hansen. I've been our corn and soybean product manager here now for, I think, going on around 10 years, but I've been with the company for 15, helping build this lineup. And starting off on this section here with the mid-range 90-day here with our all-time bestseller, the 8495. For those of you that have planted this one, you know it. For those of you that haven't, this is one that I don't think is going to treat you wrong. It has always been a strong performer. On farm, fence row to fence row, this one's been really tough to beat at a 95 day. A little bit shorter statured, but it still shades a row very easily. Once it gets out of the ground, it races up to that canopy. But excellent grain quality, excellent disease tolerances, drought tolerance. As you know, in one of those bullet points there, high tolerance to high pH soils as well. So if you've got any areas that have a history of IDC in soybeans, this is a hybrid that can still be planted on those same acres and perform exceptionally well. It's just been a phenomenal hybrid for us. Been a tough one to replace, to be honest with you. I think we're going on almost 10 years with this one, Mac, if I'm not mistaken.
Like that. Yep.
And then just another note on it coming from a lot of our customers here, it is an excellent choice for hand picking. If you have any customers that deal with that, this is one that you can plant with confidence, knowing it's going to be an easy one for them to get. Following that up with, I think it's going to be a good complement, is the new 4396. This is kind of a pilot hybrid this year. We're just going to have some limited quantities. We want to get it out, get it on some of your farms and see how it really does. Looking at it in 2024, I don't have a lot of bad to say about it. It took a lot of rust and disease issues that we saw last year and are now seeing again this year. You can plant it east to west very well. The only watch out that I can see right now, or that I can have, and this is simply because I haven't seen it as much, is drought tolerance on those lighter soils. I think the 8495 is still going to be real tough to beat in that environment. But moving into heavier soils to high fertility soils, I think this new 4396 is going to give you an edge in some yield, and then that extra tolerance to tar spot, northern corn, things like that. I think it's one that we can keep an eye on going forward. I think it's going to be a good hybrid for us.
Thanks, Jake. The only thing I'll add to what Jake said, I think you did a nice job of covering this, is 8495 does have excellent grain quality, and it is what we like to call near food grade. It is one that is accepted by grain millers at their St. Peter plant for the making of masa flour. I think that's probably all. We can go to the next slide.
Yep. All right, next up here is another great pair of hybrids that I think contrast each other exceptionally well. Second year hybrid here with 7397. For those of you that remember 4597, this is a direct replacement for that. And what I think it's doing a little better is what I call out right there in that first bullet point. It's bringing a ton of yield to a lot of fields. Full flex ear. This thing can be planted at a range of populations depending on what your ground is like. Even in droughty conditions, this one still held up and it out yielded 8495, 4597, and some others around it. But it's quick out of the ground, excellent early vigor. The disease tolerance, I think, is the next level for this maturity range. that we haven't seen before. And it's another one that I think moves south really well, even into 105, 6, 7 day corn country as an early hybrid. So we've seen this one down into central Iowa in the past, and it's held its height, and it's still maintained quite a bit of yield. And then contrasting that with the 98-day Blue River hybrid with 42C87, this is a hybrid that a lot of Blue River customers know and have probably planted in the past. Great hybrid in terms of late season health. Big hybrid, it can get quite tall, but it still stands up very well. So this leads it into being a great dual purpose hybrid, probably more so than the 97-day. But it is the only downside I see on it is it's a little more of a fixed ear. So it likes to be planted at those higher populations, as we call out in the bullet point there. But emergence is great. Standability and the root strength is there. I would just say we want to probably keep it on a little bit more heavier soils at this point. I think it's that with that extra population needed, that's where it's going to shine a little bit more.
Yeah, just call out on 42C87. I continue to be surprised when I look at yield data for the last 2 years on 42C87, how it keeps. We think of it as kind of the dual purpose hybrid that is actually a lower priced hybrid as well, but it has a ton of top end yield on good ground. And Jake's showing you the data here. It is no slouch.
Yep.
When it gets on good soil with plenty of fertility, it's got lots of horsepower. And so don't count it out. But I think Jake did a nice job of contrasting those hybrids where the 42C87 with the excellent health, dual purpose potential, and excellent emergence is a really nice, what I would call really nice, well-adapted organic hybrid. So I'll leave it there. You can see the data.
Yep. You can look at the data here. It really did impress us the last couple of years. It really showed, like Max said, it's no slouch.
Jake, is there any, going back to that slide just a minute, you got data points from the Dakotas to the east there in New York and Pennsylvania. Are both these, I think both these hybrids are comfortable moving all the way out to New York and Pennsylvania. Does either of them have a westerly limit?
I would say I would give the western movement nod to the 7397. The 42C, like I said, it's got a lot of yield potential, but because we need it for it to hit that yield potential, it's better when it's at those more medium to higher populations, which doesn't bode well once you start getting into more of those dry land acres. As you move west, when you want to maybe lower your pops a little bit. Mm-hmm. So just to conserve nutrients and things like that. I think the 7397 has a little more flex, not quite as big of a plant as the 42C. So I think as you're starting to move west into northern Nebraska, South Dakota, I think the nod I would lean towards the 7397 as being a little bit better option for you.
Good, thanks.
Another pair of hybrids here. One of them has been a mainstay with the 8500. This is a half sister to the 8495. So a lot of consistencies between the two. It does have exceptional drought tolerance, and we've seen that time and time again. A little bit shorter plant. I would call it a semi-flex or semi-determinant type ear. It likes to push out length, so you will see this one poke that ear out of the kernel, or out of the. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties again. Likes to poke that grain right out of the husk. And it's another one that can handle those higher pH soils, especially as we move into parts of western Minnesota, South Dakota. It can handle those environments quite well. And this is kind of one that I also say has some accidental tolerance to tar spot. It's an old enough hybrid that it was kind of developed before that became such a big disease player. And this is one that has kind of shown to be quite tolerant of it. So all around, just a good hybrid for us. Again, kind of that mainstay, and similar to the 8495. And its counterpart that I think is going to bring a little more yield to the table is a 2401 at 101 day. Very consistent high yields across our testing locations. Great great disease tolerance, especially to tar spot. They call it the tar spot king for a reason. It's very, very healthy plant. And even this year with the southern rust coming into play in parts of Iowa and even Wisconsin now, this one is showing to have exceptional overall plant health to a wide range of diseases, which has been great for us. Strongly adapted east to west. If you want to push it west, I'd say that's fine. But I would suggest we keep it under irrigation as we move it into the Dakotas or parts of northern Nebraska. The 8500, I think, just does a little bit better into those dryland areas with the absence of those center pivots. But overall, the 2401 has been no slouch. I think it's a great addition to this lineup, to counteract the 8500, especially as you get into those heavier soils, a little bit more yield there.
Mm-hmm. So tell me if I get this wrong. So what I think I'm hearing you say is, if I'm pushing corn west from, say, whatever, I-35 out to Dakotas, Nebraska, 8500 is kind of the preferred choice. And unless it's irrigated, and if I'm pushing corn east into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, we kind of like 2401 better. Is that accurate? Okay.
Yep. That's exactly what I would put it at. Yep. Not to say that you can't, like Matt Giggs said, not you say you can't move those hybrids east to west, interchange them. But I just think 2401 is just a little bit better adapted east, 8500 a little bit better west.
Got it. Thanks.
Next up, another hybrid that's been a great mainstay for us here, very consistent, is the 4602, had 102 day. If 8495 is our number one seller from year to year, this is number two. It's just been an outstanding, consistent hybrid, both on organic ground and some of our conventional customers as well. But semi-flex year, more length than girth. Pretty consistent to see this one, with about 16 rows around, but it's going to be 35 to 40 kernels long. So just an overall exceptional hybrid. And we've seen this one in parts of Nebraska, and we've seen this one all the way out into New York and Pennsylvania and everywhere in between. And it's one that for us is just not giving us a lot of grief, or our customers a lot of grief. It's just been very steady, very consistent. Healthy plant, the fall intactness is great. The plant does tend to dry down fairly quickly, but it doesn't give up. It doesn't just completely fall apart on us either.
Nice. I think you did a nice job describing it. That consistency with very good top-end yield has made this very popular. The picture there is, I guess, some of you know Carl Gaudian on the left. He's our regional sales manager for the North. Just to the other side of this sign is Jonathan Olson, who's a dealer of ours in Cottonwood, Minnesota. He's also a seed grower of ours and grows organic wheat for us, organic soybean seed for us as well. And then I'm there. And it's kind of interesting because we're there in Cottonwood, Minnesota, which is pretty far. It's southern Minnesota, but it's pretty far west. And this hybrid has just done such a good job from that Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Ohio, and further east that it's as Jake said, our second best selling hybrid. So.
Yep. And I kind of forgot to say this, but its ability to move south out of 100-day zone is also very good. We've seen this one in parts of Illinois, parts of southern Iowa, even into Ohio, and it's been excellent as we see it in 105 to 110-day corn country as well. So the wide range of adaptation of this hybrid has been very, very good.